Broadcasting from Miami, Florida.
Check this out.
Let's go.
Welcome to 25-8 The Culture. On who's hot and who's not. Everything hip-hop. Turn it on, turn it up, get it loud. Here we go. You're now vibing with 25-8 The Culture.
Yo, you already know what it is, man. It's your boy DJ Pablo Maccabee from 25-8 The Culture. D-Wise from the Big Fellas. What it do?
Yo, what's up? It's your boy D-Wise in the building. You already know what it is. We have a fantastic guest in the building. She's going to be dropping a lot of gems. I can tell. I can feel the energy. It's going to be a great episode. So let's do it.
Also in the building, the legendary Big Money Boy Lance. What it do?
Good, family. How we doing in here today? Good to be here. Good to see you all. And as always, drink in one hand, smoke in the other. So let's go.
And also our special guest, Luna, Charles Hardcastle, Arthur, mother, entrepreneur. Welcome.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me. It feels like I'm on the block right now. I got the big guys around me. We're about to get some stuff done. We're about to make things happen right now, you know? The little short girl, not short, 5'9", but surrounded by big men. I'm good. What's up?
What up?
Hey, you already know, before we start off the interview, though, you see that like button right there, that thumbs up. Make sure you hit it. Also on the side, there's that notification bell. Turn it on. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. We listen to y'all. We do it for y'all. Let's continue.
All right, so definitely I want to get into this interview. I had the pleasure to meet you on a video shoot, and you had a few books that you've written. So it was very impressive. And the women of this generation is they're not just mothers, they're entrepreneurs, they're writers. They also have a story to tell as well. And women of this generation, I wanted you to tell your story about, who you are, where you came from, your struggle, your success, and stuff like that. So, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, so I'm Luna, Charles Hardcastle, and I want to say thank you for having me on here. It is truly a blessing to anytime somebody offers you a way to have your voice heard by people, and this will live on in the future because we know nothing digital ever dies anymore. So we don't know who's going to see this. I want to say, I can't say this generation women have, because I stand on the shoulders of giants, because if it wasn't for the women in past generations, we would not be here today. We're not the first generation of women that is balancing life as a mother, as a homemaker, as a wife, and trying to make money and budget. Single moms are not a thing right now. I mean, when guys went off to war back in the days, somebody stayed home with the kids. The only difference I could see right now between here and even where I came from in Haiti is that women are not as cohesive as we've been in the past, because it does take a village to raise a child. It does take, my husband is off fighting war and I wasn't able to sell these vegetables. Can I borrow a cup of sugar? And we don't have that anymore. And that's something that I feel that is missing more of this generation than women just becoming entrepreneurs, because women have always been entrepreneurs. I mean, sex is the oldest, right? The oldest business in the world. And I'm sure they didn't have pimps back then. I don't think. So, all right. I'm just saying, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest, because I got friends from all backgrounds, and I am so thankful for that. I love my strippers, and I love all my peoples, because this is my whole thing about people when they're like, you go to strip clubs with your husband. I'm like, have you seen Miami strippers, bro? Have you seen them? That's fucking these girls are gymnastics. Like, son, take my money, because I sure as hell can't do that. Like, I'm just so women have always been entrepreneurs. I'm just the newest version that is able to speak like women have not been, because women's voices have been kept behind when they should have been in the forefront. Behind every great man is a good woman? No. No, all right? Next to every great man, telling him step-by-step strategies and motivating him and making sure he has a good night's sleep and feeding him is a woman that is equal, if not more intellectual when it comes to the finances and what's going on and events and stuff, that is telling him, like, babe, I don't think that move. I mean, let's talk Michelle and the President Barack. Am I lying? Yeah. Am I lying? Let's talk Hillary and Bill. All right, let's talk Denzel Washington and his wife.
Now we talking. Pauletta's the queen.
Yeah, see, that was a different move.
No, but I'm just saying.
I could debate Barack and Michelle. I could definitely debate Hillary and Bill.
How many PhDs does Michelle have?
Again, that means I could debate.
I'm just saying
I could debate it. I didn't say I say there's an open discussion with definitely Bill Clinton, Hillary. They're losing that debate. Because I can tell you how everything went there.
Let me tell you, I promise you, Barack is going to be like, I would not be here if it wasn't for Michelle.
Every good man should say that. I hope everyone chose a queen that they can say that about. If you can't say that about your queen, you picked wrong. But the best one you said was Denzel Washington and his wife. Now that one was perfect.
Samuel L. too. Samuel L. knows his act. And his wife kept him down.
That was another good example.
All right, what about Jada Pinkett?
Jada Pinkett and Will, all right? This is my whole thing. Jada Pinkett and Will are like each other's twins. Have you ever seen them together? That's like the boy version of Will. They're like soulmates that met, and they're like, yeah, man, whatever. You can do whatever the fuck you want. We're still going to be good. Pussy is pussy, dick is dick, whatever. You think Will Smith has not cheated on Jada?
Okay, here's the difference. Will Smith's shit didn't get into the public eye the way Jada's did. Even if he did, and I don't have any hardcore evidence.
Okay, let's talk about business. We're all entrepreneurs here, right?
Hold on. You gotta let me finish my statement before you cut me off now.
Okay, go.
The only thing I was gonna say, Will Smith might be, there's so many rumors, and one thing I have to say rumors because I don't know what happens behind closed doors. But the information that was out to the public, that was uncareful. That's why if you watch the interview, what Will Smith said, and I know it was speaking from heart, he's like, I'm gonna get you back. She's like, it's not about getting you back. Will Smith said, to me, it is. That means when a man says that, you were sloppy with this. Whatever our agreement was, it was sloppy, and I need you to feel how I'm feeling right now. That thing wasn't a perfect committed, we're on point, I'm your twin thing. I don't agree with that. Someone messed up. That's why he said what he said, and he meant it. That wasn't, that was a mess. Not the ball.
Your soulmate, your twin, whoever is still another human being, they're still going to hurt you some way or another. It's the recovery that matters from it, all right? That said, when it comes to fidelity, every relationship is on their own moral ground. I don't think you should enforce your morals on other people. How I govern my relationship and how you govern your relationship, that's cool, as long as it doesn't interfere with mine and we respect each other's space. With that said, Will and Jada Smith, right? You're telling me they did not know what was going to happen at that red table talk when it happened, that her commercialism and marketability didn't boom from that their pockets got hurt in any way, sense at all, with all the women going, yeah, Jada, what's up? And all the women going, poor Will, it's okay. And women being their biggest market in the world.
That was whoever their PR person was gets the pat on the back. Not Jada and Will like that. There's certain things as a man that is hard to hide emotion-wise. His body language, which I'm A1 on, was not His body language was, we're going to get ahead of this. And I agree with the words, bad marriage for life, they said. We're going to get through this. This bump in the road is not going to mess up. But Jada, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? When he said, I'm going to get you back, that was a meaningful word, and he meant that. There's no cover up with that. There's no understanding and equal, but that was, you dropped the ball.
He said he knew about it. He said he knew about it. He said he knew about it.
But he also, okay, if he knew about it and this was all a plot, like you're saying, everything was perfectly planned out to make everything on purpose.
This is award-winning actors we're talking about. I don't even understand. These people.
Then he should have acted better.
Movies and like, have you seen Will Smith?
Yeah, he should have acted better then. That if they're gonna bring the award-winning actors in it, he should have acted better. I see a man with vengeance. We might not see his revenge come up, but it's going to come. This is what I'm saying. I think she's being punched.
And you know what? And you know what? It will make great marketability. It will
PR person's dream.
Family front and center. You know what I mean? And like he said, nothing is. He has built a foundation of granite. Whatever that they're doing, they know what they're doing. Oh my God, when his son started wearing dresses, we all freaked out.
Oh my God, that was terrible.
Yeah,
How much $1 million did he make?
Yeah, like, $2 million.
That was awful. He made bread though. Let
me tell you something.
When is your, like I said, like, I feel like with that, I feel like someone can buy you, like, if me looking out and being a father or you being a person, like, I feel like putting a black man in a dress is a very degrading movement. So I feel like he did that. I feel like you have to put your foot down, and like how Dave Chappelle said, like, I'm not putting a dress on to say that I'm funny. Like, a paycheck can make you do anything.
So I'm Haitian by birth. I came here when I was 8 years old. So I have my moralities set. However, I am the mother of 2 Gen Z daughters, okay? And I've had several talking to, okay, about my pronoun usage, about all kinds of things. And this is the hurdle we're going to, that this is, again, what I'm talking about, imposing our morality on other people. We don't feel it is what it is, but that does not change how he feels as a person and how he reacts to it. And we have no right to say that's wrong because he reacted that way. Because that's our morality. That's the way we're viewing things. That's not how he's viewing things. We don't know how he's viewing things. We don't say
just the same thing. If I have to respect his decisions as a man, or hey, this is how he wants to do things, that's fine. I'm not in his household. I'm not his dad. I don't owe that. But if he's open and able and free to talk about what he wants to do, how he does it, I am just as open and free to talk about what I wouldn't do and how I wouldn't do it. At the end of the day, he's not going to come in my house. At the end of the day, I'm probably not going to go in his. So I'm really open to talk about how I feel. But that's the thing,
though. As a parent, are you going to let your pride and ego get in the way of the relationship with your child? That's a thing we have to address as parents, because we let our views dictate our relationship with our kids. I learned, and this is one of the things that I'm always trying to parent my friends about, is forgiving backwards. Because do any of us can sit here and be like, our parents didn't do some shit to us that really, really hurt us, and they just didn't understand where we were coming from, that may have ruined our relationship.
I agree with that.
Us, this generation, we have all of this information that is accessible to us. We have mental health holidays and we have apps to talk to people about it. Our parents didn't have any of that. My mother, bless her heart, had a 3rd grade education because she couldn't afford shoes to keep going to the Catholic schools that were free in Haiti. All right. So she busted her ass to come here and work 16 hours as a taxi driver, taking people from the airport, shopping everywhere, to come home to bitch me out for not having the house clean and not taking care of my brothers and not doing all of this. Even though I was like 10 years old and going to school, because I went to school, I should be able to read all her legal contracts, talk to the lawyers, talk to the doctors, because I was the English interpreter. And that shit weighed on me. Like, I wilded out in my teens, bro. I wilded out in my teens, all right? I have the rap sheets to prove it, all right? And the contacts of some amazing lawyers, God, that because of it, because I'm good at making contacts. Pablo. Like, but it was not until I saw an interaction with my mother and my grandmother up here, and my mother came to me bitching about the same about that I realized that our parents didn't know any better. They didn't have any of the shit we have now. None of that fucking shit. And they were being oppressed, paying way less than we are. And can you imagine what Black mothers were going through, or minority mothers was going through? And it was okay for their men to beat their ass anytime they felt like. It wasn't like the cops was going to protect them.
I didn't go through any of that, so I can't speak on that.
That's what I'm saying. It is
Like,
our job in this generation to be like, I don't like that, but I love you as a person, okay? And can we come to some kind of agreement? Can you not do this when you're coming to my house or anything? I understand that is who you are, and I appreciate you and I love you, but you have to understand this is who I am, and I need that respect for you. Because our generation, and my husband is Puerto Rican Crucian son, so I'm always like mold, because I read a lot of books, and I'm always like, he's like, no, they're supposed to just listen to me because I'm the parent and they're the dad and they're supposed to do, and my daughters are like, but I'm trying to have a conversation with you, Dad. Like, having conversation, you might just go do what I say. And I'm like, just let them say what they have to say, and then be like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but you still need to go what I said to do, because I'm your elder and I'm responsible for you. You know, it's just a change in thought and dialogue. We need to have this paradigm shift, especially if we're going to be a more evolved cultures from where we were. We talk about, you know, homosexuality and people getting dressed and everything, but this is part of spiritualities that were lost to us. And I want you guys to look this up. Third genders are a thing in Hinduism, and voodoo orishas have third gender gods, and the Native Americans have third genders. Those third genders are considered those people that walk between male and female that have information from both to guide us. It became a problem because religion and race and everything throughout history. But you don't have to love it for you to respect it, is all I'm saying.
Now, the beginning of that was a level of respect. Like, he did that. His money is never going to touch my account. My words may never touch as a thing, but if I feel like, hey, that's not what I would do, like how basically with that situation, when like another scenario, when what's the brother's name? The rapper that came out and said something about Dwayne Wade. What's the guy? Boosie. Boosie came out and he shared his opinion of how he viewed things. He said, I don't think the child is old enough to make those decisions yet. Mm. That's an opinion. I believe that in certain aspects, he's 110% right. If I'm going to tell my child, you're not old enough to have that drink, I want to talk about having this drink. There's nothing you can say that's going to change my mind about you having this drink or having this drug. If I'm allowed to make these decisions as a parent, like, you know, when you get older, there's certain things I have to, like, you know, the old school saying is my parents were getting me ready for the world. Not everything's going to sink in, but it was their job to get me ready for how dirty the world could be, how nasty it can be. There's love out there. Make sure you find, they were getting me ready for the world. And then through that learning, I definitely, because you're your own individual self, you take your own path to learn what journey is best for you, but they did get me ready. But if they were on some, now there's some people that free spirit and everything, I don't agree with that, because free spirit, everything means I want to do heroin today. Hey man, it's your body, it's your world. You're 6 years old. No, but listen, this is the door that opens up when you said let them come, let them figure things out. So in my mind, that's a very serious thing. It might be extreme, but it's serious. It's just as serious when someone said I want to have a sex change and they're 5 years old, 6 years old. Now as they get older, if that's the route they want to take, you gotta play the hand that you're dealt. But being that young, you have to understand the mindset. Your confusion, is this truly what you want? As a parent, I need to really go through it, talk to it, and see what it is.
I 1,000% agree on everything you just said. There has to be a time to allow that kid to mature.
That was what Boosie was saying.
Okay,
that's what Boosie was saying. He's not ready to make that decision.
But Will Smith's son was like 17 when he decided to wear dresses, so it wasn't a kid. But Dwayne Wade's
child.
I have to watch my pronouns. Dwayne Wade's child, to me, is too young. All right. When I was such a tomboy, climbing trees, drawing all over myself, getting into fights in school. My mother literally threw away all my stuff and sent me to modeling classes. And I modeled for a couple of years. And then I hated it. And then I went back to grappling and kickboxing and stuff. That's me personally.
Yeah.
I had so many friends that were like, oh, we thought you were gay. Nah, I'm one of the straightest people you're ever going to meet. So, all right. Like, I've never been bi-curious. I've never I'm sorry. That's who I am. I have a sister that's bi. That's her choice. But I don't think at 5 and at 10 years old or at whatever, you could be like, that's who I am. I've always felt that way. Great. I've always been writing since I was 5 years old. I didn't decide to become a writer until I was 20 because I had to figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Like, you start having kids having sex change at 10, and then before puberty or anything ever starts, before any kind of hormone rush, when you start actually being attracted to the opposite sex, to me, that's too early, okay? Kids not being assigned a gender at birth is going too far, and that's how I feel. You're born a girl, you're born a boy, you decide to have a sex change, that's fine. But speaking of that, I need to know if you're ever going to be able to have a child. I need to know, like, I've read about guys and I see where they're like, okay, I really like this guy and I didn't want to tell him that I was this because I wanted him to know who I really am. But that is who you really are. That person should know what they're getting into before it's like, but then I feel the same way about women that put on like a layer of makeup before they go out. And then it's like the whole face is on the pillow.
Man, the clown makeup.
Like, yo,
I'm
glad I'm no longer on the dating scene, son. I don't know anymore. Cause I'm a 90s kid. Like, jeans can't be too tight.
Facts. I don't know what these people be thinking with some of these jeans.
Yo!
But I don't get the fullest is when I see someone put on tight, skinny jeans, whatever, and then they sag it. I'm like, it don't make sense to me. Like, I know you struggled to get that on your one leg. You know what I'm saying? So now you did all that just to sag it. Like, yo, like, man. But again, I have to understand that I'm cut from a different cloth. I am from maybe a little bit of a different culture. Maybe I'm from a different mentality. So there's certain things I'm like, I always will voice my opinion when I say something's not for me. But I'm like, if that's how you get down, whatever. But if you ask me for something, I will never be scared to be like, this is how I feel about it. And that's how I feel society's going to start to shun you off of what you feel like. You can feel how you feel. And I can't even go to a point like, this could be wrong. Like, you might not feel this way, or you might be like, well, you're full of shit when I say it. but this is how I truly feel. We're starting to get to the point with all the things that are uneasy to talk about. Well, you can't say this because then this happens. Or if you look at it that way, that happens. Or how dare you voice your opinion in the situation? It's just my opinion. It doesn't mean that you have to do it. But if you're going to ask me, yo, what do you think about this? I should be able to say it.
What I've learned is that it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
That's not true. I would agree with you on a mature level.
For all that.
I would agree on you if it was mature people talking. But I've seen people say some of the nicest things in the disagreement and they get bashed for it. A lot. That's not the society.
No. I've seen it. I've seen ridiculous things happen that I don't understand. What it's like, there is a thin line between you wanting to censor speech that could cause physical harm to another person and just hating on everybody, and they're not allowed to say this, and they're not allowed to say this, and they're not allowed to say this. Like, I know everybody's on Rollins right now because of her transgender comment. And I was like, but have you seen some of these people that are on girls' teams? Like, have you seen them? If you are a mother and I'm raising daughters and I have my daughters in self-defense, and you see a person who transitioned that is 6'6" and 220 pounds about to guard your 18-year-old daughter, I don't care how liberal you are, you're gonna have a problem with that.
100%.
Yeah. Maccabee, man, I see you posting up on the back, man. Put some 2 cents in there, yo. Man, we're chilling on the couch, yo.
Right now. Yo, this is like
we definitely opened this conversation with some fireworks. Oh, by the way, I saw the Haitian flag, so it wouldn't be right for me to not say "Ça passe," my queen.
Now, bullet, yo, okay.
Hey!
Guys, let me tell you something. Every time a person says "sac passe," we want to roll our eyes. I took my husband to Haiti for New Year's. How many Haitian people said "sac passe," son? Okay.
Hey, I'm a Yank. I have no problem admitting it, y'all, man.
Kijan ouye. Kijan ouye. Can you say it? Kijan ouye.
Kijan ouye.
Kisha. Wait, say it one more time.
Kijan.
Kijan.
Ouye.
Ouye.
Yeah. It means, how you doing?
Cool. I'm gonna try to work that into the lingo.
Yeah,
but
like now that like
I don't want to impress. I'm a married man. I don't need to impress no. I feel like if I do that, I'm gonna impress the Haitians. It's like, I'm gonna leave that to Lance Draper. You know what I mean? I'm good.
Bro, me and Louis have been together since '99, and the only thing he know in Creole is food. That's it.
Yeah, same here.
That's it. It's like,
yo, to the viewing audience, yo, Haitian food is busting, yo. You feel me?
Yeah, I didn't get into Haitian food until like I went to it might be garbage to y'all, but what is it? Is it King Chef Creole or whatever? They had
Chef Creole used to be down, but now he's like watered down his food for his mass audience.
I'll say this was 12 years ago, so you know what I mean. Hopefully things was a little bit, but
if you're ever in Florida, I don't know if you're down here. There's this Haitian restaurant called Chez Nous. It's off of 67 and Miramar Parkway. And it's great Haitian food with all of the great Haitian attitude.
I think my boy tried to take me to that spot because I'm down here, like, you know what I mean. Yeah. I'm that. So I was like, I think he tried to take. I didn't get it, but he's like, yo, this is the spot because you would have to go to get the Chef Creole. You had to go, you know what I'm saying, down. You know what I'm saying, down to Miami.
And if you get a chance, Pack Supermarket off of 82nd and Northeast 2nd Ave, they've gentrified the shit out of Lil Haiti. And it's still like this little hole in the wall restaurant. You order from the window. It has the best fried chicken in Florida. I do not care what anybody says. I can't even eat it anymore, but I drive all the way down there to get it for my daughter so I can smell it.
Hey,
I don't even think I've ever had Haitian food.
Yeah,
you missing out.
I told He's still
Not even
Lance is still in New York, and like I said, I didn't touch down
nothing.
Haitian food until I came down. That's facts.
bro.
You know what I mean? Like
Let
if
me
I
tell
told
you.
Lance right now, yo, what's up with some conch fritters? He'd be like, what? I didn't touch down until I came down. Like I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's the one cool thing about being from South Florida, because we travel, and South Florida, you have so much different food. Like I live on Hollandale, and you could go from Haitian to freaking Russian with the whole Russian ballet, and within a 2-mile radius down the one street.
Wow.
Like it's I love it.
Florida lit, man.
Man, food, yeah. Well, not Florida. South Florida. We don't fuck with North Florida. All right.
Okay.
Yo,
There's a line there. There is a line, son. Yo, I was
from
in
Miami.
English Florida once.
Florida.
English Florida is North Florida towards the Gulf. And I'm talking about like a couple of years ago. I was in English Florida. And I went into a corner store to buy a beer. And the one brown man that I had seen all day was like, you should be careful around here at night.
Wow.
I looked at my husband, I was like, this is not one of those scary movies where somebody tells you not to go there. And you're like, hey, it's going to be okay. Nah, we'll leave you.
He set you up with the Get Out scene. He was letting you know what was gonna happen.
What? Nah, son. I ain't got no ancestral powers in North Florida. I am good. I can't be like calling out to my Haitian people. They don't mess out over there. I'd be stuck. I am so good.
Maccabee, man, break it down. What's up?
So it's kind of hard to get in on the conversation when you're with New York, feel me? Because New Yorkers just love to take over the conversation. I wanted to say a couple things, but it's like,
It's me. It's me.
Man. It's my host, so they start.
This is me. Hi, imagine.
You feel me? they just be so passionate, so I just have to kick back and relax. You feel me?
Definitely take power, homie.
Yo, so really quick, I want to go back to the food because I'm a foodie, and I know you're a foodie, and you're a pescatarian. But Haitian fish, oh my goodness, that shit is fire. Like yo. And for people that for years I grew up and I never had Haitian food, and even knowing Haitians and stuff like that, and I don't know why, I just never got into a Haitian restaurant. And then the first day I ever did, bro, I never looked back. And it's like, look, I'm a Jamaican, I'm West Indian, I like my food. And then I started noticing myself going over to the Haitian spot more than the Jamaican spot. And you never want to say another culture's food is better than yours. But I gotta say, Haitian food is busting, man. Like them fat things.
My best friend growing up was from Mandeville.
Yeah.
Some of the best Jamaican food, bro.
Yeah.
Some of the best Jamaican food.
Well, Haitian food, but I don't eat pork. But when I used to eat pork, that griot, it was good. Like but we fire bun pork now. We don't mess with the pork. But way 10 years ago, I'm like, that griot was busting. Fried goat was busting. That sour sop pink juice that you guys make with the condensed milk and whatever. Oh my! Yeah. And then the picklings. Oh man, I can put picklings on everything, son. Like
Yo, my mom calls my mom. Don't spread that rumor. Like it's so sad. Like he calls my mom, and my mom will go out and buy ingredients and make this man jars of picklings. She won't even cook for me. Like she won't do it for me. I asked her so, and she was like, "That's why I taught you to cook." But let Lewis call. Mommy, you gonna make Julia John Joe? Like,
One thing I will say though about as far as people from the islands, everyone has it's the flavors and seasons you do, and I won't say there's certain dishes that won't perfect it, but like something like oxtail, like I'll have a Dominican oxtail, then you'll have a Jamaican oxtail, and then you'll have a Haitian oxtail, and you guys it's different flavors. And you'll taste something different. So it's like you guys have the same thing because you came from the islands, whether it's fish or octo, or even how you guys do your cabbage, but it's the seasoning and flavor that changes it. You know what I'm saying? So that that's why I was like, oh man, I never had oxtail like this before. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Yo, and Cuban oxtail, it's like one of the best. And
I ain't had none of this shit.
It's like Jamaican oxtail.
And if you don't bring your ass down here, I'm tired of you with these question marks on stuff, yo.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna take care of you. I swear to God.
Yo, I'm gonna take you on a food tour. You come down here, I'm gonna take you on a food tour. We'll be like, I can't eat this, but you gotta try this.
You're gonna put on like 25, 30 pounds fucking around here, man. I'm telling you.
That's cool.
Honestly, we should probably do a South Florida like YouTube channel, just effing with all the great spots here, because I'm like, yo, there's so many great spots. Even vegan, man. Like there's like nice.
No, we not plugging no vegan, man.
Yo, what's up with the vegan spots, son? I'm pescatarian.
No, Rasta pasta and all that stuff, son.
Yo,
Rasta pasta, that's cool. But we ain't gonna be eating no tofu or none of that fake meat.
Let me tell you
something. Out on that. This
is the thing. I hate tofu unless I make tofu. Because I have some Asian friends and I grew up in their kitchen. I grew up in people's kitchen. That's how I became. That's why I became friends with people. Is for their food. That's like, what is your mama cooking that my mama's not cooking? I'm tired of her food and everybody thinks her food is great. Because that's how it be though. Because everybody's like, your mom's Haitian food is the. I'm like, what are your mom cooking? The thing about tofu is the consistency of it, because it's so squishy. You have to dry the crap out of it and then season it and then bread it and then fry it.
He'd rather just do that to chicken. So you just lost.
Yeah, but it tastes like chicken.
Nothing tastes like chicken. We are not gonna spread that lie. I'm not with it at all. Next you're gonna be telling me turkey bacon tastes like real bacon. No, the hell it don't.
No, turkey bacon doesn't.
Yo, I'm gonna be real with y'all. If it wasn't for like pulled pork and bacon, I can't, like, I'll never be able to say there's anything better in the morning than someone making bacon for you. Like when you smell bacon, you wake up. Like I'm telling you, you don't need an alarm clock. You make bacon right now.
I gave up grill. That's like sacrilege, bro. I'm a Haitian person that gave up grill. Like,
I wish I knew what you were saying because it sounds delicious.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna describe it to you. I'm gonna describe grill to you. All right. So you take a pork shoulder, including the fatty part, and you cut little chunks, right? And then you marinate it with lemon juice, bitter orange, garlic, lime, bouillon cube, salt, pepper, and the hot pepper, like Scotch bonnet pepper, right? Parsley, onions, and you marinate it for like hours so the juices come in. And then you slowly cook it and like for a few minutes, right? So that the meat is kind of already cooked because pork cooks fast. And then you fast fry it. So the outside is crispy, but the inside is soft. And all of those seasoning is locked in. And then you put it over a tostones and you put this hot relish on it, which is made with carrots and cabbage, garlic, vinegar, and again, Scotch bonnet peppers. And it's like this crunchy little bite of meat and plantains and fat and pepper, salt, and it bursts into your
Lord have mercy.
All your synapses, and you see the ancestors, and you see the route of plantains from Africa.
Lance, stay out of the light. Come out of the light. Bruh, come out of the light, my nigga.
Yo, this nigga was leaving. Talking about marinated, and then you gotta flash deep fry. It's like, oh my God, what? Who made?
And that fat she's talking about is like butter now.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be like, oh, the fat in my it's
No, like when it bursts in your mouth, it's like warm and crunchy and salty and sour and spicy, and it's just perfect.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Miss Grill.
Hey, Maccabee, you make this, Chef Maccabee?
Nah, I don't.
Nah, that's Haitian food.
I don't fuck.
Oh, okay.
But
I feel like she could do it. She just gotta go against the morals to, so you can taste it.
Yo, my daughter has been lobbying me to make grill, and I told her I will make it next to you. Like, we will buy all the products, and I will sit there and I'll make it with you.
Taco Brother Lances, he'll bring all the he'll buy the groceries if you put it down. He ain't got no smoke.
That's a fact. I just gotta know where I can smoke at.
Oh, you can smoke here, but
Oh,
no, wait.
let's go.
It depends.
Grill and smoke. Let's go.
Oh man, we're having a lot of fun. Books. I definitely want to touch on that because you are an author.
I am an author.
So
I write stuff.
you definitely do. Please talk about your books, and it might be hard for you, but tell me which one out of all the books you wrote, which one was your hardest one you feel it was to write, and which one was your easiest one. And by that, like, easiest on your soul, like it was enjoyable to you type thing.
Or like most
Okay.
inspired, or
I think like my first book, Men Are Not the Problem, was was good for my soul. It was a release of a lot of things and energy and feelings and stuff that I put into there, and a lot of things that I had witnessed from a lot of different people. And I got so bashed for that title, but it's
Shame on them.
the protagonist in the story learns the most valuable lesson I think most women in relationship need to understand, is that you are in charge of yourself in this relationship. You don't have to pull up with the bullshit. Okay?
What made you write that book? Was it personal experience? Was it seeing someone else go through something? Was it a message to other queens out there? What's like, I gotta write this? What
It was all of that. It was all of that. It was personal experience. It was my friends' experiences. And it was just the repetitive cycles of me hearing women say that all men cheat and this and that. And I'm like, but that's not true. That's not. All men cheat. You allow that if you're like, so I always told Louis, I believe in two. You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. Like the Muslims have the same saying, and it says, what is it? What happens once will only happen once, but what happens twice will surely happen a third time. So if your man cheats on you and you forgive him once, cool. If you forgive him twice, that's on you. You can't be mad if it happens a third time, because you already knew that that's a track record. You need to move away from that situation. So it was everything that was going on, and it was a message to other women that, you know, we put so much love and attention into somebody because we're expecting it to be like a mirror. Like that love and attention is gonna bounce off of them and reflect onto us, when it should be a focus on, I love me as much as you, and have that love go from me to you, and not, you know, depending on that person to be everything. I love my husband, but we're on two different wavelengths. He's Buddha. I'm like Malcolm X, socially conscious entrepreneur out to take over the world before I die and leave my daughters in charge. You know what I mean? Two different things. But I had to learn that just because I'm one person and he's one person, that doesn't mean that we can't work together. People give too much of themselves into another person and not keep some stuff back. Women give up their careers, they give up all of this, and then they get mad at the other person. That person never told you to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So that was that. And I think the hardest one for me to write is the books that I'm working on now, which is the Daughters of Lilith series, Good Food, Good Friends, Good Sex, and Good Night. And I'm not self-publishing these. I have an agent. She's talking to some people, and it was the hardest because it was a study of over a decade that I've been studying spiritualism and orishas and magic and everything, and the process from it going from Africa into Haiti and what it actually means and how they're all interconnected. And the third genders come into my research, and it's the interwovenness of everything that I've been researching, because the more I research, the more I realize the biggest control you can have over somebody's mind, over somebody, is their mind and their faith. Because where somebody places their faith is power, because there's power in faith, there's power in energy, there's power in the focus of their mind. Haiti revolution was able to happen and be successful because of that focus, power, and energy that they had at that time that has been dispersed through all of us. And a lot of it comes from the mothers being dispersed from their kids being taken away from their mothers. They don't have that relationship with the spiritual connection of their life, because spirituality comes from your mother. Your mother teaches you your history, your stories, your traditions, your foods, what her mother did, how you feel when you're sick, your chicken soup and everything. And yeah, it comes from her mother. And it came to me because it was this Indian guy that I worked with, and he loved Black women. Love Black women. But when he got time to get married, he married an Indian woman. And I was like, why? And he was like, because I want my kids to have the same culture I have. I want them to have the same faith and the same spirituality I have. And that comes from the mother. And that has been displaced when it comes to minorities through generations for hundreds of years. So that connection to the power that we have with our spirituality, I feel like it was lost. And I wanted to read a book that told me something about it and made it fun and made it interesting. So it was the Orishas and the sisters of, are the goddesses of the African religions of voodoo, which is not a religion, but a way of life. Like Indian, Native American spiritualism or Hinduism or Buddhism, not a religion, it's a way of life. It's how people carry themselves and they speak to the nature around them. So that, I think, why it was the hardest for me to write. But
so I got a question for you. So do you think, like, say, voodoo or voodoo or is just a misconception of African spirituality?
Oh, completely. Everything we have seen on TV, produced and paid for, white America, is a complete fabrication of the true spirituality and the true source of power. And I honestly believe that was done intentionally to keep people's minds from connecting to that energy. Because it's like a music chord. When you pull a cord and it vibrates across, that vibration carries. Now you start pulling those cords in people's brains, that vibration is going to carry to spiritual connections that may have been lost during the slave trades, powers that we can't connect to, our own Odins. Because how is it America knows more about Odin and Black people knows more about Odin and Thor than they know about Atabola and Yemaya? Like, how is it that those gods, because if you read anything about, mythology, gods get power from the people that believe in them.
Right.
Those powers exist through the power of the people that believe in them. Black people started believe more in Jesus Christ and whatever, the Catholic Church got more power, and the African deities lost it. We know more about Odin and Thor and Loki than any of our lines of spirit. So we are powerless. At least that's how I feel and what.
And I noticed another thing you said, you mentioned the ancestors. So who do you think the ancestors are? You think this like just like our older descendants that we're from? Or like, can you like break that down a little bit? Like, who are the ancestors?
Okay. The ancestors are older, like your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-grandfather, and people are like, oh, like they were so much smarter. We're not asking them for computer help, all right? When you're talking to the ancestors, you're not asking them to, give you the next stock tip. It's like sitting down with your grandmother and it was like, okay, I'm having this difficult situation with my relationship, because they had relationships back then. You know what I mean? It's more of a connection thing. And when I say our disconnection with the ancestors, and it's not just Black people that believe in ancestors, because Dia de la Muerte celebrated all over the fucking world. Yes or no?
Yes.
And Muerte is all about paying homage to the ancestors and those that came from you. And it's celebrated in the Asian countries, it's celebrated in South America, we celebrate it in the islands. It may be some other name I have to research, but that's paying homage to the people that came, because energy doesn't die. Energy doesn't, it dissipates, it moves from one place to the other, and we're all connected on a link, right? Now you have people that got disconnected from that link, traveled across hundreds of miles and then scattered and told that their energy, that their power lies in something completely different. Yeah. So whatever link that was there to guide them, to empower them from what wisdom it had is no longer there.
Do you think there's some type of like energy or spirit out there that's intentionally wanting us to disconnect from, connecting with our, say, African spirituality or a certain level of frequency, and trying to disconnect us from, like, being more connected with the earth? Because, like, I noticed, like, when I was vegan for a while, I felt more connected to the planet. It felt kind of weird. Like, it's like, nobody told me this was going to happen to me. But all of a sudden, I started looking at the trees and looking at the birds, and I kind of felt I had a connection with them, which before I never felt I had a connection like that before. And I kind of felt like it was the diet, because now, like, my whole circadian rhythm started to change. Then then you started to meditate, and then I started feeling more connected with the sun and with the planet and whatever like that. Do you think there's like a spirit or an energy out here that's intentionally trying to distract us from being connected to the earth? Or you think
I don't think it's a spirit or an energy. I think it's people. I think it's the people that profit the most from the Abrahamic religions, which the Abrahamic religions is the Hebrew religion, it's the Muslim religion, it's Christianity, it's all guys, it's all male-dominated religions. Yeah. And most spiritual religions are very kind, they're very nurturing, give, accept, taken. There's no money in people that connect to the earth and move with the cycle of the earth. You look at the earth and you see the cycles provide the medicine for the illness. Like, my daughter has asthma and it only happens during the winter. And then I found out that custard apples, which only grow in the winter, are the perfect remedy for asthma. But there is no profit. There is no richest man in the world with that concept. There is no kings of industry and titans and monarchies with that. Remember, they made Black people an enemy in order to go into their countries and profit off of them and enslave them and tell other white people, it's okay that we're doing this because you know what? They're inferior to us because, you know, their skin colors, they're the curse of, the curse of Cain is their skin color, so they deserve this. It's all a mind fuck to make more money. And the more that we're fighting against each other, the more we're disconnecting from the power that is inherent in us, but it's us, like we, us. Yeah. And that's what happened to my country. It went from we got this freedom and then the embargo happened and everybody was like, well, if we go to Christianity, if we do this and if we do that, then, you know, everything will get better, and nothing got better. It just got divided. That's it.
Just real quick, just name drop the other names of your books.
So you have Men Are Not the Problem, My Life, My Rules, and Love, Laugh, and Live Secrets to a Better Life, and Good Food Coming Soon.
All right. Definitely, I'm looking forward to reading all of those books. Where can they find all these materials? Amazon, right?
Everything is on Amazon, and if you live in the Florida Broward system, it's at your local libraries too. Hey, I have a library card, so I don't mind. Look, you need 3 things to be my friends: a library card, a passport, and an open mind when it comes to food.
That's what's up.
I gotta get a fucking passport.
I'm about to say, I feel like Lance is checking all those things. I said, I don't know what his passport situation was.
Yeah, nah, we getting that one though.
Thanks.
All right, really quick, it was a pleasure having you on, Luna Charles, Hardcastle. Is there anything you want to say to the audience before we sign out?
Guys, thank you so much for having me. I am so sorry. I'm such a chatterbox. I smoked before I did this, but this is me. Hi. And you can always check out me at Luna Charles Hardcastle on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. So thank you so much for having me, guys. And Pablo, D-Wise, and Lance, thank you.
It was a pleasure. I'm your boy, Pablo McAbee. Thanks for watching 25-8 The Culture. Peace.
You already know what it is. It's your boy D-Wise. Had a great time. Just want to say to Luna, thanks for coming on. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the back and forth. Hey, yo, this platform right here, you see, anytime you need to use it, this bridge is open to you. So come come walk across it whenever need be. And we here for you, vice versa. You know what I mean? And your boy D-Wise, I'm out.
Lance Draper, dope interview, dope guest. Appreciate you coming through. And like my Henny, I'm out.
Yo, real quick, I like Lance's shirt. Go cop that from Big Money Boys. My bad. Yo, credit scores don't have feelings. You feel me?
No, they don't.
That's
they
a
will
fact.
hurt your feelings. They will hurt your feelings. Though.
That is a fact.